Chosen one. Today is one of those days that carries a spiritual weight that few can perceive. October 14th, waning moon in Leo. And the universe is sending a clear warning. You are being tested. Tested to see whether your ego will speak louder, or if you've already awakened enough to listen to your soul. This is not just another lunar phase. It's a silent turning point. Because what might seem like an impulsive purchase, a trivial expense, may actually be an energetic leak that's draining your spiritual prosperity. And many of the chosen ones are falling into this trap without understanding why abundance isn't flowing. That's why today, you must stay conscious. Avoid wasting your light on momentary vanity. Invest where your soul strengthens, where your mission flourishes, where God has greater plans for you. And if you've been feeling financial blocks, a sense of scarcity, or disconnection from your purpose, this video will show you why. Stay until the end, because I will reveal what this waning moon is trying to show you in silence. How to break free from patterns that distance you from true prosperity. And the final message that can change your relationship with money and spirituality starting today. You want prosperity, but still spend to impress others. True abundance isn't about being seen, it's about being whole. When you spend just to show success, you're feeding an illusion that leaves your soul empty. The waning moon in Leo invites you to quiet the noise of external validation. What if you stopped buying things just to be noticed? What if prosperity meant peace, not performance? Ego consumes, but the soul creates. We often confuse wealth with image. But money spent on appearances is like water through open hands. It disappears fast, leaving nothing of value behind. Leo's fire can either burn for truth or for attention. This lunar phase asks, are you investing in the essence of who you are, or just in the version others expect to see? It's time to choose purpose over performance. Prosperity is a frequency, not a facade. You rise into it when you align your spending with your soul. When your money follows your heart, not your fear of being judged, it multiplies in meaning. Ask yourself honestly, what are you buying to feel seen? And what could you invest in that actually makes you feel fulfilled? The difference is your breakthrough. This is a sacred turning point. The sky isn't calling you to shrink, but to shine for real. And that begins with refusing to trade your truth for trends. You don't need to prove anything when your spirit is rooted in self-worth. Let this moon clear the noise. The world doesn't need another image, it needs your light. Many chosen ones feel a divine pull toward abundance, yet fall into the trap of vanity spending. It's not your fault. The world trained you to measure your worth by how others see you. But the moon waning in Leo whispers a higher truth. Real wealth doesn't scream, it radiates. This is your call to return to what's sacred, to invest in what makes your soul bloom, not just your image shine. Every time you buy something just to be approved, you're renting someone else's validation. That isn't prosperity, it's spiritual debt. Leo's fire teaches discernment. Is this choice feeding your essence or your insecurity? The moon now invites you to pause and ask, where have I traded authenticity for applause? This moment is your mirror. Look closer. The universe is realigning your values for higher abundance. But first, you must release the weight of appearances. You were not born to impress, you were born to impact. When your money becomes a prayer instead of a performance, miracles happen. You begin to manifest from alignment, not anxiety. And the rewards? They're far deeper than status can ever offer. Let today be the reset. You don't need another item to be enough. You don't need to convince anyone that you're successful. Your light is already ancient. The more you honor your truth in every transaction, the more the divine provides. Remember, the most powerful investments are the ones made in your evolution. There's a sacred difference between investing in your growth and spending to escape your truth. Many chosen ones unconsciously seek validation through material symbols, not because they're vain, but because they're healing. The waning moon in Leo is a divine checkpoint. It's time to cut what drains your light and return to what expands your essence. You were never meant to chase status. You were born to embody purpose. Prosperity is not about how much you show. It's about how deeply you feel rooted in your soul. And if you're honest, some of your purchases come from wounds, not wisdom. This lunar energy asks, what part of you feels unseen? What are you trying to prove, and to whom? When you spend to be seen, you abandon the one who sees you fully, your higher self. You are not here to impress the asleep. You're here to awaken through integrity. That means redirecting your money into rituals, learning, healing, and visions that carry your name in the stars. This is not a punishment, it's liberation. The universe cannot bless what's fake, but it overflows abundance on what is real. Spend with purpose and watch your soul and bank account rise in harmony. Let go of the need to look abundant. Start living as if abundance is already encoded in your DNA, because it is. Leo's fire wants you to shine, but not for the crowd, for your creator. You've spent enough trying to be enough. Now is the time to invest in what is eternal. And trust, when your inner world is rich, your outer world will follow. There comes a time when the soul no longer craves applause. It craves alignment. The waning moon in Leo brings this truth to light. Not all that glitters feeds the spirit. You may have believed money was about being seen, admired, envied. But now you're awakening to a deeper truth. Money is also sacred energy, and it responds not to ego, but to intention. The real stage is internal, and your soul is asking for silence, not spotlights. Many of the chosen are now being called to shift how they relate to prosperity. Investing in what shines externally may feel satisfying at first, but it often leaves your spirit empty. The universe is not asking you to shrink. It's asking you to shine from within. This moon whispers, stop spending to perform. Start directing your energy to what expands your heart and anchors your mission. That's where true wealth lives. Imagine how your life would transform if every coin carried consciousness. What if your next investment wasn't in more, but in meaning? Courses that open your path, people who support your truth, tools that awaken your gifts. This is not about restriction, it's about redirection. When your soul becomes the compass, money follows with grace, not pressure. This is prosperity redefined by purpose. This is a sacred turning point. You've already played the role of the one who has it all. Now, be the one who honors what truly matters. Your bank account will feel the shift. So will your peace. Leo may love grandeur, but when paired with this moon, it calls you to root that grandeur in truth. You don't need more shine. You need more soul. They didn't tell you this part, that true prosperity isn't loud. It's sacred. While the world sells the illusion that wealth must dazzle, the waning moon in Leo invites a deeper revelation. Money isn't meant to be your mask. It's meant to be your mirror. When you spend to impress, you build a cage of expectations. But when you invest from the heart, you build a path of expansion. This moon phase reminds you, not everything that shines is aligned. The chosen know this lesson intimately. You've walked the halls of appearances, trying to prove you're enough through possessions or praise. But your soul aches for something more authentic. Leo energy can be bold, but paired with this lunar wisdom, it urges you to be bold in truth, not performance. It's time to ask, where is my money going, and what part of me is it feeding? Ego or essence? Now is the moment to purify your relationship with abundance. Your money is a prayer, every dollar a declaration of what you value. When you spend, ask yourself, does this elevate my vibration or drain it? Investing in your healing, your art, your sacred purpose is never wasteful. It's worship. The temple is your life, and money is just one of its offerings. What you honor multiplies. This moon isn't here to shame you. It's here to awaken you. You don't need to keep pretending you're fulfilled when you're just decorated. True wealth is silent, steady, and soul-led. It doesn't scream. It glows. And this phase opens a portal to shift from superficial splendor to divine alignment. Let money serve your light, not your lack. When you see money as a performance, you become trapped in a show that never ends. Every outfit, every post, every swipe of the card is another scene in a play written for others, not your soul. But the waning moon in Leo is here to end the act. It urges you to take off the costume and look at what's underneath. Are you rich in self-worth, or just rich in fear of being unseen? True prosperity doesn't crave applause. It moves in silence, rooted in peace and purpose. Leal energy is radiant, but when aligned with spiritual wisdom, it asks, what are you truly radiating? Is your glow coming from connection or from competition? When money is used to elevate the soul, it becomes sacred. When it's used to hide emptiness, it becomes a burden. This moon phase whispers what your ego won't admit, that simplicity is often more powerful than luxury. The real temple is your inner world, and every financial choice is either building it up or tearing it down. Invest in what brings you peace. Choose what brings your spirit forward. Don't chase the glitter. Chase what helps you remember who you truly are. To the awakened ones, this is your turning point. You are not here to impress. You are here to express the divine through your life, your gifts, your mission. Let money support your soul's expansion, not its disguise. Under this Leo moon, your finances become a spiritual mirror. What do you want them to reflect now? You speak of financial freedom, but you're still a prisoner of appearances. You dream of freedom, but your wallet still answers to the crowd. Every time you buy something to feel enough, you build another invisible cage around your spirit. The waning moon in Leo reveals this conflict. You can't be truly free if your worth depends on being admired. Appearances can seduce, but they also enslave when they become your compass. This lunar phase invites deep honesty. Do your expenses reflect your soul or your insecurities? When you spend to belong or to prove something, you lose touch with what actually brings peace. Freedom begins with alignment. Leo asks, do you want to shine because you're whole or because you're afraid of being forgotten? Your money choices are spiritual choices too. Every swipe, every indulgence, every treat is a message to your subconscious. Are you telling yourself that you need to be seen to be safe? Or are you reminding yourself that your light is enough, even in silence? This moon reminds you that real wealth is internal, and it doesn't need approval. Awaken one, your journey is sacred. You weren't born to compete with illusions. You were born to embody truth. Let this be the moment you stop selling your energy to fit into a mold. Spend with intention. Release what doesn't serve. And remember, you are already rich when you live in alignment with who you truly are. You say you want peace with money, but you still feel guilty for not being enough. There's a hidden pressure to perform, to look like you've made it. But deep down, you're tired of trying to impress a world that doesn't even see your soul. The waning moon in Leo exposes this emotional trap. Seeking validation through spending only creates spiritual exhaustion. You were not called to follow illusions. You were chosen to break them. When you spend money trying to keep up, you betray your inner rhythm. Leo's fire wants you to shine, yes, but with authenticity, not performance. Financial peace isn't about excess, it's about alignment. Are your finances an extension of your truth or a mask to hide your wounds? The answer is already inside of you. Now is the time to forgive yourself for past choices. Maybe you bought things to fill a void. Maybe you chased admiration instead of connection. But the sacred invitation now is clarity. Look at your spending with compassion, not shame. The moon doesn't judge the darkness. It simply reflects it, so you can choose again. You were not created to live in lack or in pretense. You are a being of purpose, not a product of pressure. This phase calls you to rewire your relationship with money. Less noise, more soul. Let your wealth reflect your healing, not your fears. The moment you choose truth over appearance, you begin to prosper from the inside out. You speak of financial freedom, but live trapped by appearances. You dream of liberation, but still feed illusions that keep you caged. This waning moon in Leo exposes a painful truth. When you spin to impress, you sell your essence for applause. But you weren't born to perform, you were chosen to expand. True freedom doesn't scream for validation. It whispers through alignment and peace. Behind every purchase made out of insecurity lies a soul craving worth. But worth can't be bought, it's remembered. This lunar phase asks you to stop trying to look wealthy and instead begin to feel abundant from the inside. Release the need to prove yourself. Who you are is already more powerful than any label or lifestyle. There's no shame in having once sought approval. That was survival, but now you're awakening. You see the cost of impressing others with a life that doesn't nourish you. Leo's light invites reinvention. Spend where your heart expands. Invest in what connects you to your purpose, not in what disconnects you from your truth. This is your chance to break the cycle. You don't need to dress your wounds in gold. You need to heal them with love, clarity, and courage. Prosperity begins when you stop outsourcing your self-worth. Let this moon strip away the noise so your soul can finally lead. You are not here to fit in. You are here to shine from within. You've spent impulsively before, but now you can shine with consciousness. Maybe you've made choices with money based on emptiness, ego, or even loneliness. That's not a failure, it's a chapter. But now the waning moon in Leo brings a sacred opportunity to realign. Lael teaches, dignity is not about having more, but honoring who you've become. You are no longer here to impress. You are here to expand with truth. This lunar phase invites a powerful financial detox. It's time to cut the costs that come from emotional impulses. What have you bought out of fear of not being seen? What bills did your inner child make to feel important? Now, the sky calls you back to presence. Real prosperity begins when you choose from self-worth, not self-doubt. There is strength in revisiting your past mistakes, not to feel shame, but to reclaim power. You are wiser now. You've learned that abundance is not about pretending to glow, but about shining from inner wholeness. This moon gives you a mirror. Are your choices rooted in your soul, or just dressed in illusion? Be brave. Look again. Cutting what drains you is not lack, it's liberation. Every expense you release creates energetic space for aligned blessings. You don't have to keep paying the price for an identity that no longer fits. Let your money reflect your authenticity. And remember, true luxury is peace of mind. That's the kind of wealth your spirit came to claim. You've made mistakes with money, but now it's time to reclaim your dignity. We've all spent more than we had. We've all bought something to fill a silence, impress someone, or escape a feeling. That doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. But now, under the waning moon in Leo, you're being asked to pause and choose differently. This isn't just about money. It's about power, presence, and purpose. Leo reminds you that your light doesn't need decoration. Your worth is not tied to what you wear, drive, or show online. The question is, do your financial habits reflect your soul or your wounds? It's time to stop sacrificing your peace to feed an image. Real power isn't loud, it's rooted, and your roots want to grow. This moon phase brings a sacred opportunity to reset your relationship with money, not through restriction, but through reverence. Every dollar you spend is an extension of your energy. Spend it where your spirit expands. Release what is flashy but empty. Invest where your heart whispers, yes. That's where real growth begins. Let this be your turning point. The past doesn't define you. Your choices today do. Start small if you must, but start with truth. Cut what drains. Keep what nourishes. And remember, abundance isn't found in what you own. It's felt in who you've become. The moon sees your transformation. Now let your money reflect it. The abundance you're calling in begins with real self-worth. The waning moon in Leo is not asking you to shine louder. It's inviting you to shine truer. This is not about how others see you, but how you see yourself when no one is watching. When you believe in your light, you don't need to chase approval or perform for validation. Your prosperity starts with deep self-respect, not external praise. Real abundance isn't loud. It's calm, steady, and deeply rooted in purpose. When you anchor your finances in your values, you stop buying for status and start investing for growth. The moon now calls you to ask, are you spending money to feel enough, or because you already know you are? True wealth begins with inner wholeness. You don't need to prove anything anymore. The desire to show off fades when your identity is no longer for sale. This lunar phase invites you to detach from the noise and return to your truth. Let go of patterns that kept you in scarcity just to maintain an illusion. You're here to build something sacred, not something that pleases everyone. The Leo moon reminds you, money amplifies who you already are. So, who are you when no one is looking? A soul in alignment doesn't need to pretend. Prosperity follows presence. When you lead with authenticity, you attract resources that match your vibration. And from that space, you rise, not just financially, but spiritually too. The money you attract reflects the truth you live. You can't fake alignment, not to the universe and not to your soul. The waning moon in Leo asks you to purge the financial habits that come from ego, fear, or need for approval. When your self-worth is tied to image, your money will feel unstable. But when it's rooted in authenticity, prosperity flows with grace. Leo teaches, confidence is quiet and dignity doesn't scream. You don't need to buy love, status, or belonging. What you seek outwardly is often a mirror of what feels missing within. This lunar cycle invites a sacred audit, not just of your spending, but of your self-image. Are you nurturing your soul or feeding your insecurities? The more you honor your path, the less you fall for illusions. This is a portal to stop wasting energy on what doesn't feed your purpose. Real power comes when your financial decisions reflect your values, not your wounds. Let go of the urge to impress and instead invest in what truly expands your spirit. When you align your money with your essence, abundance becomes a side effect of your authenticity. This Leo moon closes a cycle, not of earnings, but of identity. You are not here to perform. You are here to shine from the soul. Let your light lead, and the resources will follow.